In this episode, I'm going to tell you the easiest and most effective way to grow the number of 5-star Google reviews that you have in your practice. This is a Dental Practice Launch podcast marketing short episode coming at you now. Welcome, everybody. I'm Shane Simmons. I am the host of the Dental Practice Launch podcast, and I am the founder and CEO of Crimson Media Dental Marketing, where we help you grow your practice through proven online marketing and building a long-term patient base through basically relationship-based marketing. And a big part of building your patient base and building a long-term patient base is having good quality Google reviews. Now, everybody knows this. Everybody talks about Google reviews, right? Whether it's at your associateship or maybe you use Google reviews when you're looking for a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a restaurant or whatever the case may be. And certainly that is the case for dental practices as well. Now, before we get into these really quick tips on what we see in working with dozens of practices and how they achieve Google reviews quickly and quality Google reviews, let's talk real quick about why this is important. So Google reviews aren't just important because they look good, and you have 5-star reviews over 150 reviews compared to, maybe your competitors when they have a 4.7 star or whatever the case is. It's really not even about that. Really what Google reviews are is a conversion mechanism. So the more Google reviews that you have, the more quality those reviews, and when I say quality, I mean that people actually wrote something about their experience at the practice. They didn't just put 5 stars for the review and didn't leave any comments, but those quality reviews will actually convert more patients. And when they convert more patients, what that does from your marketing is it lowers your cost to acquire a new patient. So yes, Google reviews make you feel good. They're a morale booster. They get the team, amped up in many ways, but it's really going to lower your cost per new patient, especially once you get up past 100 plus reviews. So that's the importance of Google reviews. Now, how do you achieve them? We live in an automated world. Everybody wants to automate everything right now. And I'm not against automation. I think automation is great because people do get busy. People may not have time to leave a Google review when they are in the office or, right after that they leave. So one of the tips that I'm going to share with you is automation. It is important, but the two after the automation, I think, are the ones that practices are missing the boat on. But it is important to have an automation for Google reviews in your practice for those people who can't or don't leave a review at the time of. I recommend some form of software that sends a text and an email that's personalized to the patient. Hey, thank you so much for coming in. Not just leave us a review. We really value you as a patient and would love to hear about your experience at our practice and, what has made it, a good experience for you so we can continue to build off of that. Having some sort of text message like that is important. And it's also important that that text message be sent sometime in the evening hours, usually between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m., somewhere in that time frame. There's a lot of data out there that does show that you're going to have a higher success rate when it comes to Google reviews during that time versus right after the patient leaves and they're probably getting in their car and about to drive, right? So that's the first thing. Yes, you want to have automation, but you don't want to rely on automation. And this is where the second tip comes in. Ask. It's as simple as just asking for reviews because, again, it's a very automated world we live in. When you try to connect with someone and ask them, for a Google review, they're much more likely to do it, especially if you are a family-owned practice. You're not a corporate conglomerate or anything like that. And so I literally tell our clients, especially those who are startups or in the early stages of their practice, to just tell the patient afterwards, hey, we are a newer family-owned practice here in the community. We're really wanting to bring personalized care to this community and show people that we really want to care for them in a unique way where they feel heard, listened to, and provided just a great experience. It would mean the world to us if you could leave us a review on Google. We'll send you a link, or they can scan something up at the front, which is our third tip. But if you could scan the sign up front, leave us a Google review and just share what your experience was like. It will help us out tremendously if you could do that. When you ask a patient that way, assuming the patient you feel like had a good experience at the practice, they're much more likely to do it because you came kind of like from the heart, right? And it wasn't just a text message, an automated text that you're relying on that doesn't really have that same kind of emotion to it. But when you just ask like that, people are more likely to leave a review. And we've seen it work tremendously in our startups where they've been able to gather reviews very, very quickly. So that's the second tip, is outside of automation, just ask. And as the doctor, ask the patient, come from the heart, let them know the importance of those reviews, how they make a big impact on your small business. And people want the small business to win. So that's the second tip. The third tip, which I alluded to earlier, was get a tap sign or a QR code. I prefer the tap signs now, but something up at the front where somebody could tap their phone on it to leave a review. And again, the important part about this is you must make sure that the front desk is also asking, hey, if you had a great experience, we would love for you to just tap your phone right here. It'll auto-populate to our Google review page. If you could leave us a Google review telling about your experience, it's really going to help our small business out. So re-emphasizing that again, while also providing easy access where they can tap that device, which you can get these for like $20-25 online, and program them to your Google business profile. That is going to make a tremendous difference. So you've got two opportunities right there in the practice where you're asking for the review, even asking if the patient, could tap their phone to pull up that review there. Even if they don't leave the review that second, at least it's pulled up in their phone. And the only thing with this that you want to make sure is that the patient isn't connected to your office Wi-Fi when they do it. If there's a lot of reviews coming from the same IP address, Google could flag that, and some of those reviews may not go live. They may pop up and then not stick, or they may not show up at all. So just making sure that they're either not on the practice Wi-Fi, they're on their data, something like that. But the tap right there at the front, re-emphasizing for that review is going to make a massive difference in the number of reviews that you get. And not only the number of reviews, but again, the quality of reviews, which is what we're really looking at. Because again, at the end of the day, this is about converting more patients. It's about lowering your cost to acquire a new patient. And the more quality reviews that you have and the frequency of those reviews that you get, it's going to do that. And it's going to help you because it's going to help in the search results and the search visibility too when someone's looking for a dentist. So to summarize, yes, automation is great, but don't rely on it. Have it as just a tool in the toolbox. Second thing is, as a doctor, ask for the review. Let them know, the patient, how important that review is to the practice, how it would mean the world to you if they could do that, and just share with them how important those reviews are. It takes 10-15 seconds to have that conversation and can make a massive difference. And the third part here, put a tap sign for Google where they can tap it, go right to your Google review page, have the front desk re-emphasize the importance of those Google reviews and how it would make a massive impact on the business. And if you do those three things consistently, and you have the team doing those consistently and track it, make a game out of it. Make a game out of how many reviews can we get this week from our patients. You're going to get the team to buy in. You're going to get more patients in the community converting and coming to the practice. And in the long term, this is going to build your reputation, which is ultimately going to build your practice. So I hope that was helpful in this quick little marketing short podcast. Be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the Dental Practice Launch podcast. We're on all the different podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, et cetera, And of course, if you are looking for help in growing your dental practice with the type of patients that you're wanting to build a practice upon, then be sure to contact us at crimsonmediagroup.com. For now, I will sign off, and I'll see you next time on the Dental Practice Launch podcast.